Hi, I'm Jason King for Australian Golf Digest TV, and today we're joined by the Superintendent of the 2016 Australian Open host venue at Royal Sydney, Mr. Steve Marsden. So Steve, from start to finish, tell us how long it takes to prepare a Tier 1 course like Royal Sydney for the Australian Open.
Had a little over 12 months to get the golf course ready. We used last summer extensively to try and do work where we really needed turf to establish well with the warmer weather. And the remainder of the year is really spent time just detailing around the golf course. We've carried out a lot of tree work, which was a requirement of a tree assessment that we had carried out, but probably 12 months in our case.
Nice. And how many Australian Opens have you prepared for in the past?
Just the one here. It was back in 2013, the year that Rory won, which was obviously was a great finish with he and Adam coming down the last hole. But I think for a superintendent, it's very much on the bucket list to host a national championship, and to do it in Australia obviously is very special.
Steve, does it require any additional staff to prepare for the Australian Open Championship?
We've brought in 25 and they're all experienced golf course staff, and they've come from golf courses around the world. A couple of young Australian guys off the back of some time in St Andrews coming back to Australia will spend time with us at Royal Sydney. We've got some young turf guys from New Zealand and all across Australia, so it's a great time to network with some young turf professionals, and we value them immensely. They bring a tremendous amount to our team and hopefully help us get across the line with a quality product.
Yeah, and what's the biggest challenge you face as a superintendent in preparing for an Australian Open Championship?
I think getting everything to come together for that 1 week. There's a lot of work, as I mentioned, goes in behind the scenes over an extended period of time, and if you can get it to peak for that 1 week of the event, then that's really what we're striving for. And a lot of factors in that. The weather plays its part. Trying to get the temperatures right early in the spring for the grass to sort of respond to what we're trying to get it to respond to.
And what's the most important aspect of turf management at Royal Sydney when you're preparing for an Open?
Powerania was probably our single biggest challenge across the entire property. But I think trying to ensure that we've got tight, uniform putting surfaces for the tournament. But we've just got good, healthy turf going into the event week itself, and that allows us to probably put a little more pressure on the turf during the week of the tournament than we would normally put on for day-to-day member play. Look, we're probably ready to go the week before. We'd like to think that we're ready earlier than that, but certainly this season we've been chasing growth. The spring hasn't been overly kind to us, and I know we're probably faring better in this part of the country than others are, particularly in the southern states. So we have very little to complain about, but as far as turf requirements go, we could certainly do with some more heat to get the density and the coverage that we're looking for, particularly off the back of a busy winter period. Royal Sydney is a busy members club, and the golf course gets knocked around a little bit from wear and tear, so if we can get the recovery there, we'll be happy. I think if the week has gone well and we're proud of the product that we've presented, it's a great week and a really enjoyable week, and one that's actually quite relaxing. So the big thing for us is if we can get to the week well, I think we'll certainly enjoy the week, and I think great for the team. We've got a big team and everybody contributes, so I think we'll enjoy it as a group at the end of the week.
So how will you feel when that last group's walking up the 18th hole? It could be Adam Scott, it could be Jordan Spieth. How will you feel when those players are standing on that 18th green putting for the Australian Open Championship?
I think very proud to be involved. I think, as I said earlier, I think as a course superintendent to be part of hosting a national championship is pretty special. So we'll enjoy that moment, and as I say, I hope the week's gone well and we'll enjoy it even more.